All right, so today we are going to be starting a brand new series. That's right, today I'm going to be beginning a series where I rank the top 10 players at each position in baseball. I'm going to be going position by position probably over the next month or so, and I'm pretty excited. And as you guys probably already saw, we're going to be starting out with the catcher position. So with that in mind, let's hop right into these rankings. Coming in at number 10, I have Omar Narvaez of the Milwaukee Brewers. Last year, Narvaez played in 123 games where he hit .266 with 11 home runs, 49 driven in, and a .743 OPS. He was a consistent bat in the middle of Milwaukee's lineup as he made his first career All-Star game. And when looking at Narvaez in the past, this wasn't his best season. Back in 2019 with the Seattle Mariners, he hit .278 with 22 home runs. And defensively, this guy's good, but he's not great. So all in all, he's a relatively good catcher, but the catcher position is pretty weak. But when comparing him to the rest of the catchers in baseball, I think he is top 10. At number 9, I have Tyler Stevenson of the Cincinnati Reds. Stevenson was considered a rookie last year, and he played extremely well. In 132 games, he hit .286 with 10 home runs, 45 runs driven in, and a .797 OPS. Defensively, he still has a ways to go, but as I just mentioned, he was a rookie last year, so this guy has plenty of time to fix things behind the plate. But those offensive numbers I just mentioned are very good for a rookie. He also had 41 walks to 75 strikeouts, which is pretty solid. Most people don't even know about Stevenson because he is still so young, but I would not be surprised to see this guy take a leap next year and maybe even catapult himself into the top 5 catchers. I think he is just that talented offensively. Moving on to number 8, I have Jacob Stallings of the Miami Marlins. A lot of people might be questioning this decision to put Stallings so high, but this guy is as good as it gets defensively behind the plate. Last year, he won his first Gold Glove where he had a 2.3 defensive WAR, which was first in baseball when looking at catchers. Now, offensively, Stallings doesn't have the best bat in the world, but when you're as good as this guy is defensively, it really doesn't matter. Last year, Stallings played in 112 games where he hit .246 with 8 home runs, 53 RBIs, and a .704 OPS. So he's not going to put together amazing offensive numbers, but when you're looking at the catcher position, you want a good defensive catcher, and you are going to get that with Jacob Stallings. At number 7, I have Sean Murphy of the Oakland A's. Murphy is similar to Stallings in the sense that he is not the best offensive catcher, but defensively he is advanced. Murphy has a cannon of an arm behind home plate, and it seems like he can block just about anything that comes his way. Now, I put Murphy above Stallings because I think he is a little bit more advanced offensively. He's not going to hit for as good of an average as Stallings, but I think his potential is a lot higher in the sense that I could see Sean Murphy hitting 30-plus home runs. Last year, Murphy played in 119 games where he hit .216 with 17 home runs and 59 RBIs to go along with a .710 OPS and a 2.7 WAR. So Murphy isn't ever going to hit for the highest average, but he has a lot of power to go along with great defense, which is exactly what you look for in terms of a catcher. Moving over to number 6, I have Mike Zunino of the Tampa Bay Rays. Zunino is similar to Sean Murphy, but he is just a little bit better in everything. He has a little bit more power and is also a little bit better defensively. Last year, Zunino played in 109 games in which he hit .216 with 33 home runs to go along with an .860 OPS and a 3.8 WAR. Zunino has never and will most likely never hit for a decent average, but he provides some of the best power behind the plate to go along with stellar defense. He's an ideal catcher that any team in baseball would love to have on their team. Getting into the top 5, starting at number 5, I have Wilson Contreras of the Chicago Cubs. Contreras didn't have the best year last year, as in 128 games he hit .237 with 21 home runs, 57 RBIs to go along with a .778 OPS and a 4.1 WAR. Last year was Contreras' third season with 20-plus home runs, as he has established himself as one of the best power-hitting catchers in the game. And one thing I haven't mentioned with Contreras yet is his defense. Last year, he had a 1.8 defensive WAR, which was second in all of baseball behind Jacob Stallings. So when you look at Contreras' offensive numbers up to this point in his career to go along with stellar defense, it really makes him one of the best catchers in today's game. At number 4, I have Will Smith of the LA Dodgers. Will Smith was advertised as a great offensive catcher coming up through the Dodgers system, and he has been everything as advertised. Last year, he played in 130 games where he hit .258 with 25 home runs, 76 RBIs to go along with an .860 OPS and a 3.5 WAR. Last year was only his third season in the big leagues, and he is only going to get better from here. He really has the potential to hit 30 to 35 home runs at the catcher position, which would most definitely make him one of the most valuable catchers in the game. He's a great catcher in a loaded lineup and is only 26 years of age, so next year could be a career year for Smith. And defensively, Smith could get better, but he is still no slouch behind the plate. So all in all, this guy could really catapult himself to number 1 next year if he really breaks out and has another great season. Moving on to number 3, I have Salvador Perez of the Kansas City Royals. Perez had a historic season last year as he broke the single-season record for home runs by a catcher. All in all, he played in 161 games where he hit .273 with 48 home runs, 121 RBIs, an .859 OPS, and a 5.3 WAR. So this guy gives you everything you are looking for offensively in a catcher and then some. Now for Perez's defense, it has fallen off from a couple years back, but he is still serviceable behind the plate. And as good as Perez was last year, he did not have great discipline. He walked only 28 times and struck out 170 times. And that for me is the reason why I didn't put him any higher, because he just did not have great discipline and his defense really doesn't match the 2 players that we have above him. So Perez is an amazing catcher, but he's not the best. I have him coming in at number 3. At number 2, I have JT Realmuto of the Philadelphia Phillies. Realmuto has been considered one of the, if not the best catcher in baseball over the past couple seasons. Last year, he put together yet another solid offensive campaign. He played in 134 games where he hit .263 with 17 home runs, 73 RBIs, 13 stolen bases to go along with a 782 OPS and a 3.5 WAR. Defensively, Realmuto is pretty good as he has a solid arm to go along with his athleticism, which really gives him a leg up against his competition. So when you look at the consistent offensive production this guy has given the Phillies and the Marlins over the past couple seasons, he is arguably the best catcher in the game. But he is not number 1 in my eyes, as at number 1, I have Yasmani Grandal. Grandal, while only playing in 93 games last year, put together a crazy offensive year. He hit .240 with 23 home runs and 62 RBIs to go along with a 939 OPS and a 3.7 WAR. Now, initially, those numbers might not jump off the page at you, but when you take a little bit of a closer look, you will realize just how good Grandal was offensively. As I mentioned before, Grandal played in only 93 games, but in those 93 games, he had 87 walks to only 82 strikeouts. That's right, this guy had more walks than strikeouts, and that is just amazing from a catcher when you consider the catcher position to be one of those positions where you have a lot of low average, high strikeout guys. Grandal was the complete opposite. Grandal has been doing it for a very long time now. He's always been considered to be one of the best behind the plate, and this year I have him at number 1. Alright, so that's going to wrap today's video up. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below where you agree or disagree. And as always, if you guys do enjoy the content, feel free to subscribe. We're going to continue to post more ranking videos here for each position as we roll into the 2022 season. And as always, I want to thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.